everybody. I'm Carly Bond, president of Tennessee Mortgage Bankers Association, and I am pleased today to have the immediate past president of the Knoxville Mortgage Bankers Association with me today, J.R. Huber. J.R., how are you today?
Doing great, Carly. How are you?
I'm doing great. So we just want to spotlight you today and just let everybody know a little bit more about you. So why don't you start out just by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Well, I have, believe it or not, been in this business 25 years, and I think the last year was one of the most challenging I've ever seen, and I've been through the struggles of 2008, 2009. But last year was just one where we had no idea where we were going in March, and turned out to be a good year. And but I started out. I was a child psychology major, so really the only good that did me is to help me raise my two twin 16-year-old girls. But the psychology part does kind of help in this business, working with somebody that you're participating in a transaction that's probably the most emotional experience they'll have for any purchase. I do apply that over the years. I started out as a loan officer, then got into management training, and I've been managing for about 20 years, and moved to Tennessee 4.5 years ago with MIG, and haven't looked back since, and loved every minute of it. So one of the unique things, not too many Buckeyes fans. I've been 40 years in Ohio, so a Buckeyes fan, and I've cut my own hair since I was 17 years old. So I like to throw that out there every once in a while. So usually there's times when you can tell. Sometimes it looks okay.
That's awesome. Well, a child psychology major and to mortgage, that's quite different.
Yes.
What made you want to major in that to begin with? Just curious.
It was the only thing I could finish in 4 years.
Gotcha.
After my sophomore year. So.
Pretty smart.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what you'd like to do for fun, or where might we find JR on the weekends?
Sure. You'd find me on the lake, on the golf course, on the trails, on the roads, just anything outdoors, and whether it's four-wheeling or hiking, running, biking, boating, golfing. I play soccer, still try to play soccer.
I was going to say, you still play soccer. Wow.
Yes. And actually we're starting up again in about 2 weeks for the first time in a year. So looking forward to that. I'm on a couple teams. So
awesome. Well, that sounds fun. So I know you mentioned, yes, last year was a challenging year for all of us in our industry as well. I know it was also a challenging year for Knoxville Mortgage Bankers Association, and you were president last year, but y'all still managed to accomplish a lot of great things. So why don't you share with everybody some of those accomplishments?
Sure. Well, we started off the year with a bang. We were in January and February, we had a lot of activities. We collaborated with the inaugural chapter of NAREP in Knoxville. So we went to the grand opening meeting or kickoff meeting with them and tried to support them and all the things they were planning on doing last year. And we also had our awards banquet in February to honor all of our top producers. We had Habitat for Humanity dedication in February, and then everything just kind of came to a halt. So we continue to meet over Zoom and planned out a strategy that we had to modify, but still kept with what our true vision was. And from a fundraising standpoint, we were able to raise $15,000 for another Habitat build. We were able to raise $15,000 for 10-pack, which was really important this year. As everybody knows, the 10-pack campaign was a big deal. We had the forbearance that had to get put in place. We had the extension of the QM and the ability to repay, the adverse market fee. So a lot of regulatory and legislative issues in the news, and MBA was really important in that. So I'm glad that we were able to participate. We still did our fundraising for Salvation Army, raised $1,000 for Toys for Tots. But from a membership standpoint, we wanted to make sure that we still showed the value to the membership and not just asking for money and donations, but also giving back. So we were able to put together a couple continuing education classes. We did the MA membership drive and led of the 5 chapters in Tennessee, led with the membership signups, registrations. We still did our golf outing. We were able to have that, and that was very successful. That was the big fundraiser for Habitat. Our board, we're 9 out of 10 of us are women. I'm the only one that's not. So our board was recognized in the Knox News Women of Business issue, and had a nice feature on them. And so it was nice to get some recognition to them in the market. And we had a couple participants in the Future Leaders program through the, as you know, Carly, Tennessee Mortgage Bankers program. So we still had a lot of activity and maintained pretty much an event every month through the pandemic. And if not, we were getting information out and updates on how the pandemic and COVID was affecting our industry. So tried to maintain communication as much as we could.
You know, y'all did a great job last year, JR, and your board is so cohesive and y'all enjoy each other, which I think is a lot of, why y'all are so successful. And so, yes, last year was challenging. It threw us lots of lemons, but y'all made lemonade out of it. And you still brought value to your membership, and y'all always do a great job. So kudos to you and your entire board. It's a great year. So tell us a little bit about your involvement with KNBA and TNBA. What has that meant to your career, and why do you think others should get involved?
Well, my mortgage banking history goes back to my time in Cincinnati. So right after the financial crisis of 08 and 09, I was the incoming president of the Cincinnati Mortgage Bankers. So I'm not sure if the prosperity of the mortgage industry following that was anything to do with me or not, but we did see the reversal of fortune in mortgage and the economy at that time. So I learned how to kind of manage through that, and really there was a huge decline in membership at that time because that's just not where companies had extra money to spend and didn't see the value, and everything was kind of in disarray. So trying to lead after that was an interesting and very educational time. So we were able to increase membership significantly by sharing the value. I mean, telling people what the members, why they need to understand and participate in MBA and the education and communication that comes from it. So that was good for me at that time. And then here we are, another year where exactly. I would say is comparably probably the most significant other time where the MBA has shown its leadership by communicating to the politicians, to the legislators, to everyone of educating them about mortgage and keeping the economy afloat. So two very big years, and I know it's easy for loan officers and branch managers to get caught up in the day-to-day of production, but very clearly the MBA and the information that it provides is critical to our business. So I just encourage people to stay involved, and if you haven't been, consider it and participate.
Absolutely. We are stronger in number.
Absolutely.
And to add to what you just said, we are going through a membership drive right now with each chapter. And I know that Knoxville is working really hard to get their members signed up for this year and to also win that membership drive that ends at the end of the month.
Absolutely. So, I think we know every potential member and what their objection is if they haven't joined already. So we're working through that.
There should not be an objection, but I'm sure you can overcome those.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you, JR. I appreciate you taking time to speak with me today and just to enlighten everyone and help them to get to know you a little bit better. And we appreciate all that you've done for Knoxville Mortgage Bankers Association and your involvement here with TNBA.
Well, you've been an amazing leader with TNBA as well, Carly. So thanks for all your support and help and participation.
Sure. I appreciate that. Stay tuned for the next spotlight, which will feature Jeremy Lass, who is the immediate past president of the Memphis Mortgage Bankers Association. Well, thank you, and we hope everybody has a great day.
All right, stay safe.